Hi, in this video I have this Alba gas stove with electric oven, and what happens is when I set it to have the top element on, it's not getting hot on the top. Now one may think that this is just the element, but in this case it's actually the selector switch. So in this video I'm going to demonstrate how to change the selector switch. Right, I'm here at the front and this is the selector switch, and that's what it looks like inside. So what I need to do is I need to get to that selector switch. So I need to remove the top cover here. Right, so I've removed all the plates. Now what I need to do is remove these screws all along here. So there's little screws here. Right, so this can almost come off. It's just that there's a fastening screw here and one on the other side. Right, so there's two screws here. And now I can peel this up. I'm just gripping it like that, straight up. Right, now I need to replace the old one with the new one. Unfortunately, I need to get this face plate off, which means I need to remove all these knobs. So some you might find are very sticky. This one is quite easy. I just removed it like that. I take a balanced force and I remove them. You see my fingers go in between. If it's very difficult to remove this, you can take pry tools and go from each side and lift this up. So I'm still taking a balanced force, but the difference is now I'm going to wedge it. So I'm actually pulling it away. If you haven't got pry tools, you can also use two screwdrivers. Just be careful not to scratch the face plate. Sometimes easier to wrap the screwdriver in a little cloth, and then now what I can do is I can now remove this. Right, on this unit, there's a couple of screws here on the top. Right, I've removed the 5 screws on the top, and there's a few underneath here I need to just remove. Right, so I've removed 1, 2, and 3. Now on this unit, there is illumination here, and it's panel mounted, so I've got to be careful when I pull this cover off because there are going to be some illumination wires. Right, so I just unplug these globes by just pulling backwards. Right, here's the replacement, but what I need to do is make sure that I know the pinouts here. So what I've got to do is I've got to take a photo of it. So at this point, take a photo or a little video of all the wires so you know which wire goes where. And in this case, you might even find there are 3 white wires all over there. Now, just taking a photo is not going to solve that because you don't know which wire goes where. So you might even want to put some insulation tape and label these 1, 2, 3. There's another 2 other white wires over here. So this can get quite confusing. So don't remove this until you're 100% sure you know which wires will go where. Right, now that I'm sure I know the wiring layout, I can just remove these 2 screws. Right, now the first thing that I do is I just make sure that it is exactly the right unit. I'm checking the pinouts and they're all correct. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to first start on this side and I'm going to transpose these wires to the side. Right, on these terminals there are holes. There is a little pin that goes into the hole. So that means that in order for me to get this off, I need to release that little pin. There's the little pin that needs to be depressed inwards. When I depress that back, then I can remove the terminal. So I am going to be doing that on each one, starting with the black one over here. What I do to make this easier so I don't make any mistakes is I call out the number. This is 10A, and then I see 10A. A pair of long nose pliers, also very helpful because I clamp that and pull at the same time. Right, I've now connected the wires to the new one. I'm now just pressing them in and checking that they're all firmly in place. Now I just need to reinstall this one. Right, so I'm just returning the cover. Just plug in these globes. Right, so when returning the knobs, you might find that they're a little bit different. The one that's got a steel part are the ones for this side. So what I do, the flat part there must align with the flat part there. Thanks for watching and cheers.